You have to have a really good leadership team with everybody that you trust on it, all A players. Everybody's doing the right thing. Everybody's working in their unique ability or their sweet spot. And then you got to trust these people to do what you tell them to do. I'm the visionary. Here, I lay out my vision to my managers and my executives and my leadership team. The right leadership team and the right managers in place that all understand the vision. You make sure you're in alignment by your weekly meetings with them. They understand the vision they're trying to do.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Law Firm Success Stories. And today we're talking to a law firm leader that I'd say has a reputation that very spans widely. Many of the guests we've had on the show have talked about his amazing book, Fireproof. So I'm excited to have this guest on. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Michael. How are you?
Great. Have a great day. How are you?
I am awesome. I'm awesome. It's a pleasure to have you on. I guess we'll start with, for people who may not be as familiar with your book or as familiar with your firm, can you tell us a couple of minutes about your firm?
Of course. It started in 1995 after I got fired from my first job out of law school, which I had for about 3 years in an auto firm. I started by myself, didn't have any staff. Didn't have a lot of staff actually for the first 10 years or so. I was just doing everything in practice. And then about 12 years into my practice, I decided I had about 20 something employees and I thought I needed some help understanding how to run a true law firm through business. And I hired my first coach. His name was Gino Wickman in the mid 2007 era. And after finding my business coach, things took from about 15, 16 million in settlements and verdicts a year to over 300 million that we're going to do this year. We have over 250 employees, over 60 lawyers. We're right here, just it's in one DMA. So we're not talking about states. And we are obviously the largest in Michigan. And in 2019, John Akezel and I, my COO, wrote the book Fireproof, which we put out there, came out June of 2020, right when it was shutting down law firms and causing havoc in all of our lives. The book really was perfect timing because the book talks about a fire that I had, but it's not only is it fireproof, but it's COVID-proof, hurricane, flood-proof, all those types of things. And the book's been doing pretty well. We've sold tens of thousands of copies. We started a coaching program, a Mastermind program from the book because of the demand and what our clients are asking for. So it's taken a life of its own. But it's fun talking about it. It's fun coming on podcasts like yours and sharing all the good work we've been doing.
Nice. So I want to go back to back when you decided to work with a business coach, because I would say in late 90s, early 2000s, was business coaching like a really big thing back then, or did a lot of people talk about business coaching back then?
Actually, my business coach who wrote a book called Traction had never coached a law firm. Law firms are not easy to coach. And I don't think there were a lot of coaches for law firms around 2006, 2007 when I heard. It's definitely more in favor. There's definitely a lot of coaches now for law firms, which is neat. But law firms, unless we won't coach, if somebody's got multiple partners and all the partners are not in alignment, they're in agreement with how the firm should go and run with the time, that's not an ideal coaching candidate. And it's a part of my book in Fireproof that we talk about that everybody needs a coach. And so I think it's definitely more in vogue right now to get coached.
Now, I'm curious for you, as you've grown and said it, with the going from 15 million to 300 million plus in settlements, having hundreds of people in the organization, how did you manage to keep that alignment in the leadership as you grew? Because that's a lot of people to try to keep in alignment as the organization continues to grow.
You're asking about a core problem for any business trying to scale and grow. And so it's a long answer, but it's the fundamentals of running a business. You have to have a really good leadership team with everybody that you trust on it, all A players. Everybody's doing the right thing. Everybody's working in their unique ability or their sweet spot. And then you got to trust these people to do what you tell them to do. I'm the visionary. Here, I lay out my vision to my managers and my executives and my leadership team. The right leadership team and the right managers in place that all understand the vision. You make sure you're in alignment by your weekly meetings with them. They understand the vision and what they're trying to do. If you have that right group from 15 to 100 people, and everybody understands the vision, everybody understands the law firm way, and the processes are written down, the way people are trained and is all processed out, so it's done the same exact way every new hire. Because what happens in law firms is you get a new lawyer, a new secretary, a new paralegal, and they give that person a Sally or John or Ted and say, go train them. That's how it was done for 100, 200 years. People were not being in the same way. People were doing things their own way, actually. And that drove me crazy. So what we started to do was we built a Mike Morse University. And the university has lots of different modules. If you looked at it, it looked like a university setting. If you remember, just training for classes, it has different processes. I want to ensure that every new employee starts at our law firm is onboarded the same way, is trained the same way, and is doing it the way that we want it our way. And that's how you keep everybody in the line. Everybody clear on their roles. In weekly meetings, they're in quarterly meetings, and they get it. So it's not a secret what we expect of everybody.
Nice. Now, how long did it take you to really build out that Mike Morse University?
That's a good question. It took a couple of years. It took hundreds of thousands of dollars. And Howard was really good. Actually, I moved her from another spot, Jennifer Hartla, to do that. And now she's training Fireproof clients how to do it. She's helping them set up their own universities through our coaching programs. To me, everything you read, every podcast that you listen, blog, every Harvard business article is about hiring the right people. And you can't grow a good business without the right people. It's about people, right? If you're not training your people, they're going to do it any way they want to do it and not the right way. So I invested in my people. We have low turnover at our law firm. We have law firms we coach at 20, 30. I've even heard of 40% turnover year to year. And that's just way too much. And now that we're training them this way, that we have a very robust, written down onboarding system that everybody's onboarded the same way. When we go back and ask the employees, how's it going? How's the onboarding going? How is the training going? They all give it high marks and high praise and say things like, this is the firm I worked for, or I've never had this in the training that I've had before, and it's wonderful. So we are keeping it up. We're adding modules all the time. We're adding video all the time and making it as robust as we can because we love the feedback we're getting.
Nice. I love it. I know we could probably talk about this for all day, but I want to be respectful of your time. So if people are interested in learning more about the firm and learning more about the Fireproof program, like where's the best place for them to look online for?
Fireproofperformance.com, or they could message me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on my LinkedIn profile, putting 2 to 3 posts out a week. Or they can email me at 85MikeWins. We have some coaches get on the line. The one great thing about Fireproof coaching that I love is that most of our people who coach and teach work at law firm. We've been doing this 33 years. We actually have some secret sauces and a proven way of doing things. And now we're doing it, and we're passing on other lawyers and the leadership teams. We're all non-lawyer coaches, how to avoid mistakes, how to grow, build, scale, hire appropriately, how to pay, how to reward people, how to recognize people, how to scale the right way. Love introducing my clients to our vendors, right? If somebody's having a problem with their website, or they need a record retrieval service, or they need a fractional CFO or CMO or COO. Like, we have connections for all of these things that we use at our law firm that we then turn over. So they take out, if they have a hard, they have a hard, we can have time with securing their websites and making sure that their team is secure and safe. We have a CIO who's amazing who will help them. Firms in a different spot, coming in, and fixing them and getting them running fast and teaching them how to scale and grow right away. And it's so much fun watching the growth of the firms we're coaching. We introduced masterminds this year. We have over 50 firms in our mastermind program, which you're learning peer-to-peer. You have Fireproof coaches, but they know lawyers from around the country, what's working for them, what's not working for them. And it's satisfying to watch all happen in real time.
Awesome. I love it. Mike, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for being an awesome guest today. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Law Firm and Finance Show, where we give you great content that helps you build a more successful law firm. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on all platforms and follow us for more content.